What's going on? Y'all like the background? Let's get some music going. So we got a couple things to check out. You guys wanted me to check out. Oh my God, Francisco, I forgot to read the information. Oh man. Yo, we getting some great thumbnails. Francisco, I forgot to read this information. Victim protection versus defendant exposure in the Texas case. Remind me in the next live, Francisco, if you can, please, so I can read that information. What's going on, everybody? Like Francisco said, y'all better hit that like button and subscribe and hype it up. Hype it up. Hype it up. Come on in. What's going on, JP6? How you doing, honey? Happy Sunday to you all. Francisco, please remind me to read the these email you sent me. This is great information. I forgot to read it. Oh man, when I go live, I just like stuff that slips in my mind. It really does. I hacked this up and I got the actual kangaroo photo of something else. Oh, y'all. Yeah, just brace yourselves if you got to lose a one more brain cell. Listen to Candace. But we have Facts Me did a video, whacked out, and then there is, oh man, a couple other videos that I wanted to check out, but we'll do it in a separate live tomorrow. So for tonight, just to keep it simple, we'll keep it down to the whacked out, and maybe just a quick video to, you know, touch on. Joshua Carr did a video about the candy asses running around here talking about Charlie Kirk is still alive. It's just like they just leave this man alone. Leave Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk and two kids. Leave these people alone. It's just an insult at this point. He's still alive. Ugh, it's so gross. Child. Juju back with us. Rhonda, how you doing? Greetings from New Zealand. How's it going? Rick Jackson, no, you're not the only one here. You shouldn't be. Y'all doing all right? Mindy back again. Okay, we'll play it again. I'm gonna set up another live for tomorrow. And we're gonna set up a live stream for Facts Me is gonna be joining us on July 5th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm gonna set that up. Make sure you guys look out for that. Once this is done, I'm gonna set it up and then I'm going to bed because I gotta work. Let's get to this. He did a new video you all wanted me to check out. I do believe this is, let's see, a documentary. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Facts Me. Oh man. It must be a good one. So we got him coming in July 5th, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Facts Me in the Lady Luck Club. It will be a live stream video. So you guys make sure you, did I get something to drink? I got something to drink and nibbling on stuff, child. Yeah, it's like when I get started on this, it's so hard. Like depending on what we're covering and talking about, it's like, man, by the time I look up, it's already like 9:24 my time. Child, it'll be time for me to go to bed in a minute. D Hampton, what's going on? Nikki B, welcome back. Y'all ready? We're gonna get to this documentary. Candace Owens whacked out, faking gay. The true story. Yeah. Let's get in this. When you guys can see in here, hit the 4. Let's go.
What if I told you that one of America's most prominent conservative commentators built her entire brand on a foundation of contradictions, stolen ideas, and documented legal defeats. That behind the carefully crafted persona lies a paper trail that tells a very different story. This is the record of Candace Owens, and every word of it is documented. The year is 2007. Candace Owens is a senior at Stamford High School in Connecticut. She begins receiving racist, death threat voicemails from classmates. The NAACP files suit on her behalf against the Stamford Board of Education, resulting in a $37,500 settlement. By her own account, she is a victim of racism. But here's what Owens rarely advertised. Court records from that same period show she was separately arrested in 2007 on charges of second-degree harassment and threatening. Charges of exactly the kind she herself had just experienced. While she was being celebrated as a victim, she was simultaneously a defendant. Years later, she would stand before conservative audiences and declare that America is not a racist country. Apparently, her own NAACP lawsuit disagreed. After high school, Owens enrolled in college, but the record there is equally murky. Allegations of a staged suicide attempt to gain sympathy, claims of fraudulent student loans, and ultimately dropping out entirely.
Hey, Angie.
The woman who would later lecture millions about personal responsibility couldn't finish her own degree. Rather than returning to school, Owens launched Degree 180, a gossip and marketing blog. Commentary dressed up as content, a digital footprint that would soon take a darker turn. In 2016, Owens launched Social Autopsy, a website she claimed was designed to fight cyberbullying. Her method? Creating permanent public profiles on anyone accused of online harassment, complete with real names, employers, and personal information. In other words, a doxing site. Anti-harassment advocates immediately raised the alarm. The backlash was overwhelming. Social Autopsy was shut down. In 2017, before most of America knew her name, Candace Owens appeared on The Alex Jones Show on InfoWars, under the brand Red Pill Black. This was her early launchpad. Not a major network, not a legitimate news outlet. Alex Jones, a man whose conspiracy theory empire would later be ordered to pay nearly $1.5 billion to the families of Sandy Hook murder victims. That was the platform Owens chose to begin building her brand. The association says more than any press release ever could. Before Candace Owens became the face of black conservatism, she was publicly anti-Trump and liberal. Then, seemingly overnight, she flipped. Trump became her hero. The left became her enemy. And a brand worth millions was born. Was it a genuine conversion? Or was it simply better for business? Also in 2017, Owens joined Turning Point USA as communications director under Charlie Kirk. She rose quickly. Viral videos, packed speaking tours, a massive social media following. TPUSA was her rocket ship to national prominence. But the alliance wouldn't last. In 2018, Owens launched Blexit, a campaign to convince Black Americans to leave the Democratic Party. There was just one problem. The name was already taken.
I got a question. Did Charlie Kirk even say something to her about this whole doxing site thing? Does anyone know, was there any reportings of him talking with her about that? I mean, did she ever admit that the doxing site should have never existed or have any regret? This is crazy. She worked for TPUSA for 19 months. I'm sure he knew that she opened up a doxing website, right? Were there any record of conversations or anything where he said, she shouldn't have had a doxing? Well, she was doxing kids. She was actually intentionally targeting minors. Yeah, because you want to get them when they're young and children and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I just wish he would have said something about all this crap she was doing beforehand, a long time ago. And she probably would have revealed her demonic self to him before 19 months passed by. I think he saw after a while she's crazy. She was going through this man's phone. You can't make this up. Talking about she had to help him communicate to some girlfriend. What you mean? Jesus Christ.
Malia Connolly had founded the original Blexit in 2016, a genuine grassroots movement for Black economic independence. Connolly's organization issued a cease and desist against Owens for stealing the name. Then came Kanye West.
Hey, Mr.
Owens publicly claimed Kanye had designed the Blexit merchandise. Kanye publicly denied it, stating he was used and misrepresented. He distanced himself entirely. And then there's the money. Blexit was pitched to donors as a movement-building machine. What followed was a catastrophic mismanagement of funds, with significant financial losses that left supporters demanding answers about where their donations went. Blexit, a stolen name, abandoned by its celebrity, and a financial disaster. By 2019, Owens was forced out of Turning Point USA. Among the final controversies, a public defense of Adolf Hitler, in which he argued that his policies were only problematic because he tried to apply them globally rather than keeping them within Germany. Even TPUSA couldn't survive that one. And then came March 15, 2019. A gunman walked into 2 mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand, and opened fire, killing 49 people and injuring dozens more. In his 74-page manifesto, he named Candace Owens as his primary inspiration, writing that her views pushed him toward radicalization and violence. Candace Owens' response? She tweeted, LOL. Then she threatened to sue.
Candace, you're a demon. You tweeted LOL. You're a demon. Candace has mocked death, regardless of who it is. Apparently, 49 people lost their life. Her response is LOL. Killing 49. She tweets law. She's a demon. A whole demon. But yet gets pregnant with a boy talking about I want to be more physically violent and get out into physical fights. For some reason, being pregnant with a boy makes you want to aggress. Yeah, you belong in jail.
49 people and injuring dozens more.
Law.
In his 74-page manifesto, he named Candace Owens as his primary inspiration, writing that her views pushed him toward radicalization and violence. Candace Owens' response? She tweeted, LOL. Then she threatened to sue the media outlets reporting the connection. 49 people dead, and she laughed. During this same period, Owens sued her luxury apartment landlord over dangerous black mold she claimed was destroying her health. The landlord countersued over unpaid rent. The verdict? Owens lost. She was ordered to pay $17,719.90 in back rent, plus her landlord's attorney fees. The woman who built a media empire, lecturing others about personal responsibility, couldn't pay her own rent.
For 7 months, and she didn't even go to court. That was a default judgment. That was a default judgment because she did not go to court. Hey, Sals, honey. CC. Mr. B. She laughed, Texas mother wrote. Law. Who, girl? She didn't pay rent for 7 months. He said 2021. And she failed to go to court. This is how she handles litigation matters. She doesn't even want to go through court. She didn't even go to the hearing. She had hired the wrong type of attorney. And then when she got to the hearing, when it was scheduled, she didn't even show up. Candace, I dare you. Say I'm lying. And I will put up every exhibit related to that lawsuit on the internet. You dumb heifer.
In 2021, Owens landed at the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro's conservative media powerhouse. She got a show, a platform, and a significant salary. For a time, it seemed like a triumphant comeback. But legal defeats were still finding her. When major fact-checking outlets labeled her COVID-19 Facebook posts as false, she sued them for defamation. She lost. She appealed to the Delaware Supreme Court. She lost again. The courts ruled that fact-checkers have First Amendment protection.
Yep.
In other words, it is legally sound to call Candace Owens' COVID claims a hoax alert, because the courts found the label substantially accurate. This is where things get deeply troubling. In September 2023, when 4 women, including a minor, accused comedian Russell Brand of rape and sexual assault spanning a 4-year period, Candace Owens went on the attack, not against Brand, but against YouTube for demonetizing him.
What?
That same year, when Andrew Tate was arrested in Romania on charges of human trafficking and rape, charges that would grow to 21 counts in the United Kingdom, Owens rushed to his defense, platforming him directly and dismissing the allegations. And then, in 2025...
Because dismissing them in her mind does not dismiss them from the court. You know, Candace, that does not automatically dismiss the allegations from the court of law. He's also been criminally charged and now trying to sue Milk Bar TV because he reported on it. How do you do? You just, I don't want you reporting on something that's available to the public. Sit your goofy ass down, Andrew Tate.
5. Owens interviewed Harvey Weinstein directly from prison, arguing he had been wrongfully convicted and that he was a victim of the Me Too movement. Weinstein had been convicted of rape and sexual assault by a jury of his peers. He was in the middle of a retrial, facing new accusers. 3 men, 3 sets of serious criminal allegations involving women and children. One consistent pattern: Candace Owens standing with the accused. In March 2024, the Daily Wire and Candace Owens parted ways. The polite phrasing for being fired over increasingly extreme anti-Semitic rhetoric. She had been making statements about political Jews, aligning with known Holocaust deniers, and publicly clashing with Ben Shapiro over the Israel-Hamas war. The Anti-Defamation League condemned her statements. Even the conservative media machine that made her famous couldn't stomach it. Also in 2024, Australia denied Candace Owens a visa on character grounds. Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke ruled that her views could incite discord and violence. She sued. Australia's High Court unanimously upheld the ban in 2025. But the real victims, approximately 15,000 ticket holders who had purchased seats for her speaking tour. The event promoter collapsed after the visa denial, leaving every single ticket holder without a refund. 15,000 fans out of pocket. Not a cent went back to them. In 2025, the manifesto of the Nashville high school shooter was made public. It named Candace Owens as a direct influence, stating, "Candace Owens has influenced me above all each time."
Good grief. Candace is like the shooter number 2, taking people's lives and sitting here giving you credit for it. This how you know, see, the devil comes to steal, kill, and to destroy. He doesn't care who he uses. Candace obviously has no problem with letting the devil use her to aid in his objectives of killing. In every way possible. Psychologically, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. People are giving her kudos to taking lives. Candace, you're evil.
She was named alongside white nationalist Nick Fuentes. And separately, Cole Thomas Allen, a Houston, Texas man, opened fire near the White House Correspondents' Dinner gathering. Viral investigations linked her rhetoric to the attack. In the aftermath, Owens dismissed the violence as, quote, "always a very clear case of mental illness." 3 acts of mass violence. 3 times her name appeared in connection with killers or their rhetoric. And then, in April 2025, came the moment that perhaps summarized everything. FactsMe, the fact-checking platform created by Stephen Lancaster, produced a doctored Time magazine cover labeling Candace Owens Vile Person of the Year. President Donald Trump, the man Owens had championed for years, whose career she had defended at every turn, shared it on his personal social media. He called her extremely low IQ. He declared that her stock had collapsed. The fake cover went viral. It made national headlines. And Candace Owens dedicated an entire podcast episode, episode 330, to responding to it. The woman who once stood at Trump's side, who built her brand defending him, now the subject of his mockery, featured in a FactsMe production that the President of the United States amplified to the world. And if that weren't enough, Owens is currently facing a defamation lawsuit from French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte, after Owens falsely and repeatedly claimed Brigitte Macron was born male, with no factual basis whatsoever. And then there is Brian Harpole. Harpole is the founder of Integrity Security Solutions, the man who was personally responsible for Charlie Kirk's security at the time of his assassination in September 2025. Owens decided to accuse him, on her podcast and across social media, of conspiring to have Kirk killed. She spread fabricated claims about a secret meeting between Harpole and military officials at Fort Huachuca, Arizona. No evidence, no sources, just Candace Owens with a microphone and a theory.
See, here's the thing Candace don't want, the discovery. Because it works both ways. She actually thinks she should just be able to say whatever she wants, lie like hell, doesn't care about the damages being incurred from her lies. This man lost business, revenue, and she is offended that he is suing her. No, that's what's bound to happen. And here, now she is. We went over the motion for, where her attorneys filed a motion for a court rule to be invoked, basically, so that they can add on 10 additional pages to their motion to dismiss. Because once again, this dumb goon does not want subpoena power, nor discovery. She doesn't even want to go to court. There's a price to pay for lying, Candace. And it's about to cost you a lot of money. You and George Farmer. I'm just waiting on Erica Kirk to drop her lawsuit along with TPUSA. Both of them need to sue her. And Erica Kirk needs to sue her separately, and then TPUSA needs to sue her separately. Sue her. She'll learn.
Harpole filed a defamation and conspiracy lawsuit. And here is where it gets truly damning. The moment he filed that lawsuit, discovery opened. Discovery means depositions under oath.
Oh, get her.
It means subpoenas for private records, communications, and internal documents. Every claim she made on air, every accusation, every fabricated narrative is now subject to sworn testimony.
Yes.
The discovery phase of this case may reveal exactly how Candace Owens constructs her conspiracies. Under oath, on the record, with consequences. In September 2025, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. What followed reveals something deeply unsettling. Analysts examined her entire podcast catalog, 225 episodes across 2 years. Before the assassination, across 124 episodes, Charlie Kirk averaged just 0.4 mentions per episode. Erica Kirk? 0. Not once mentioned across 16 months of daily content. After the assassination, obsession. Charlie Kirk now averages 45.1 mentions per episode, a 113 times increase. Erica Kirk went from 0 to 22.3 mentions per episode. 4,559 total Charlie Kirk mentions. 2,250 Erica Kirk mentions. A person she had never once referenced before.
Oh my God, Erica Kirk, you're gonna have to get a protection order. This right here, Your Honor, Exhibit A. The defendant is absolutely obsessed with Erica Kirk. Obsessed. It's not just, I had a few questions, we talked it out. No, obsessed. Erica Kirk even flew to Tennessee. Something I'm like, oh, it better come up in court, or it's not worth it unless it comes up in court. If she does not sue her, then that trip to Tennessee would have been in vain. And now you see she's obsessed. In addition to saying that she has direct sources and contacts that live in her building. You know they have to be following her and watching her every move. I want to know who these direct sources and contacts are, Candace. Why don't you name them? This is crazy. You know, if they aren't doing anything wrong, then it should be no issue in telling us who the hell they are, right? Because I don't know any other adult that would want to watch a grown woman whom they do not have to take care of for free. Hear me when I say these direct sources and contacts cannot be doing that for free. While Candace keeps them under wraps. Candace, you gonna tell us who these people are? Or you gonna just come out and come clean and say you got some hidden cameras installed? I'm telling y'all, she's been stalking Charlie and Erica Kirk long before he died. She is absolutely obsessed. You gonna tell us who these direct sources of contacts are, Candace? Because you know that can, boy, them folks, they find out who they are. In any lawsuit, they will be subpoenaed. And should definitely have a protection order issued against them. Stalking is a felony. You can't make this up.
101 consecutive episodes. Every single one featuring the Kirks.
How you doing, Daisy?
That is not grief. That is an obsession. But before Candace Owens became a conservative firebrand, there was a brief glimpse of a very different path. In 2008, the 19-year-old appeared in a hip-hop music video, Professional, by Young Steph, featuring Mano on Atlantic Records. Just 2 seconds on screen. a forgotten cameo. The girl in that clip had absolutely no idea what was coming. The numbers don't lie, even when Candace Owens does. Across 5 of the nation's most recognized independent fact-checking organizations, PolitiFact, factcheck.org, Snopes, Media Matters for America, and the Associated Press Fact Check, Candace Owens has accumulated a staggering 719 verified lies. 719 documented false claims, misleading statements, debunked fabrications, and counting.
I would assume these are 719 different lies, not like 10 of them are the same lies. These are 719 different lies. Because I don't think they would count the same lie. They have to debunk 15 times, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Because if that be the case, if this is 719 different lies, that means that this heifer has somehow managed in her mind to conjure up 719 different false statements. As opposed to just reading a book. You know how many books you can read? 719 lies. Let's just say that's a book for every lie. She could have read 719 books. And yet, she's the same one that has an issue with pronouncing the word bureau. Or beret. She had to practice that one because she knew I was going to keep clowning her for it.
Today, Candace Owens continues to build her brand on controversy and disinformation. Fired from the Daily Wire, banned from Australia, sued by the Macrons for defamation, and discredited by fact-checkers across the political spectrum, she remains one of the most prolific spreaders of political misinformation of the social media era. She built a career on telling people what they wanted to hear. The facts, as they say, don't care about your feelings.
Yep.
For Candace Owens, that's always been the point.
In 2015, while running Degree 180, her so-called anti-conservative blog, Candace Owens published 2 articles that read like step-by-step instruction manuals for committing prescription drug fraud. The first was titled, "How I Scored an Adderall Prescription Without So Much as a Doctor's Evaluation. 3 Easy Steps." Written under her own name, she described walking into a random doctor's office and lying to the medical staff, claiming she needed to refill an Adderall prescription she had never actually been given. She walked out with 20 milligrams, instant release, twice a day. Her own closing line? Quote, "I then became addicted to taking Adderall every midterm and final season for the rest of my college career." And then she added, 0% of the above story is a lie. She followed that up with a second article titled, "Getting Prescribed Xanax. So Easy, a Caveman Can Do It." 2 controlled substances, 2 how-to guides, published under her real name. For context, prescription fraud is a federal crime.
Yes, it is.
This is the same woman who built a media empire lecturing Americans about personal responsibility. When Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, most of the world called it an illegal war of aggression. Candace Owens did not. She questioned whether Ukraine was even a real country. She called President Zelensky a comedian dictator in a government funded by American taxpayers. She argued that NATO expansion provoked Russia into the invasion. She refused to call the invasion an invasion. She spread claims that Ukraine was a money laundering operation for American politicians.
What?
Every single one of these talking points matched Russian state media almost exactly. None of them was supported by evidence. When Ukrainian cities burned and civilians were killed, Candace Owens was on her podcast producing content that served the interests of the country doing the burning.
And yet, she won't go to Russia and just stay over there. Candace, no one told you to come back. Go back to Russia and stay there. You don't have to come back. Bye, Felicia. Keep your behind over there. I don't get it. Why come back to the U.S.? She hates the United States of America. And then thought she was just going to come back over here and try to influence the U.S. to be like Russia. Who you talking to? Girl, no. Unbelievable. This is how dumb she is. You can't even, like, all these lies you conjured up, you got to come out with their talking points. Is that how they make sure that they're getting their money's worth out of you? Candace, this is why you don't want to go to court. See, that discovery is going to pull out those financials. Are we going to see deposits coming from Russia? How's that going to go? And yet they claim that everybody else is getting paid $7,000 because we're not in her dumbass coat. Can't make this up.
In November 2023, Candace Owens spoke at the Oxford Union in England, one of the most prestigious debate chambers in the world. In her remarks, she argued that Adolf Hitler was not a globalist. Her reasoning? Hitler's ambitions were only continental. He only wanted to dominate Europe. Therefore, the word globalist, a word she uses constantly as a political pejorative, should not apply to him. She also suggested that history had mischaracterized Hitler. The global response was swift and devastating. Jewish organizations condemned her. Conservative commentators distanced themselves. British politicians called for accountability. People who had defended her for years said she had crossed a line that could not be uncrossed. She claimed she was misunderstood. She said she was making an academic point.
No, she's
But
not.
she was at Oxford with a global audience. Court was public. Her own words were the evidence. After leaving the Daily Wire, Candace Owens went after Ben Shapiro directly. She called him a globalist, a term that, in the circles they both inhabited, had a very specific meaning. She accused him of dual loyalties. She said he was a puppet of globalist forces, prioritizing an agenda over truth. Shapiro responded explicitly. He called her anti-Semitic. He said the pattern of her comments about Jewish people had been consistent and deliberate. The conservative world split. But what nobody could deny was the expanding list of her enemies. Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, Turning Point USA, The Daily Wire, Erica Kirk, Brian Harpole, Emmanuel Macron, and the governments of Australia and the United Kingdom. The list grows longer every quarter. Each new one with the same certainty as the last. The business model has never been accuracy, not once. Now let us talk about the money. Candace Owens published her book, Blackout, in 2020. It reached the New York Times bestseller list through methods later scrutinized by reporters who found evidence of bulk purchase campaigns designed to manufacture that ranking. She runs a paid subscription podcast. She sells merchandise. She commands speaking fees between $50,000 and $100,000 per appearance. She has taken money from political organizations. She has built a financial empire entirely on manufactured outrage. When Charlie Kirk died, she pivoted her entire content operation to the assassination story within 48 hours. When Erica Kirk pushed back, Owens converted that conflict into content within the week. When Brian Harpole sued, she used the lawsuit to fundraise. Every controversy is a revenue stream. The outrage is the product. It always has been. After Charlie Kirk's assassination in September 2025, Candace Owens began constructing a conspiracy theory in real time on her podcast. She named specific individuals, private citizens, security professionals, members of Congress, and accused them of conspiring to have Kirk killed. She claimed Kirk's security team deliberately allowed the attack to happen.
She alleged that military officials coordinated with political operatives. She cited anonymous sources. She produced no evidence. When challenged, she invoked her right as a journalist to ask questions.
Listen, the U.S. Army need to be trying to sue her too, because this she literally accused the United States Armed Forces, our army, of being involved. Like at some point, they're gonna have to step up and say, "Nah, it's time for you to be held accountable on a grand scale. You did all this nonsense, running your mouth, and lied. You had zero evidence. Not one source, not nothing. You're forging and faking text messages and emails, making them up, giving false statements against government agencies and entities. They hold her accountable. Her husband's parents are billionaires. Candace, you're gonna have to go to the in-laws and say, "Yeah, I don't know how to shut up. Can y'all give me $100 million?" They need to sue the crap out of her.
But she was not asking questions. She was naming people and accusing them of involvement in a political assassination. Brian Harpole filed suit. Others named have consulted attorneys. In the discovery phase, every claim will require a sworn source, under oath, on the record, with consequences. And then there is what she has done to Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow. Candace Owens has accused Erica of having foreknowledge of the assassination. She has suggested Erica benefited from Charlie's death. She has spent episode after episode dissecting Erica's public appearances, questioning the authenticity of her grief, and amplifying anonymous rumors about her marriage. Charlie Kirk's own family has condemned Owens by name. Erica Kirk's attorney has sent multiple cease and desist letters. Candace Owens read those letters on her podcast, and she laughed. There is a word for what she is doing to a grieving widow. It is not journalism. It is not courage. It is cruelty. Documented, monetized, and still going.
Oh, y'all. This was so good. Thanks me. Yo, we still didn't see Brian and Candace. We got to see that. Y'all want to see that tomorrow? Oh, man, this is so good. This is so good. Oh, this was good. Just straight up facts. She has lost her mind. Did you say, hold on, Beth said, question for you awesome researchers. Anyone know if there is a law in Tennessee that prosecutes a woman for substance abuse while being pregnant? She said she was on drugs the other day. What? Candace. Are you kidding me? Let me see. And then she blaming everything on the baby, talking about it was making me want to fight more. What? Fetal assault law. Drug use during pregnancy in Tennessee. As of July 1, 2016, Tennessee's fetal assault law, public chapter 820, which could have prosecuted women for illegal narcotic use during pregnancy if their child was born addicted or harmed, expired due to a sunset clause. This is from ACLU of Tennessee. No new prosecutions for this offense are allowed. And the law, reverted to language prohibiting prosecution for any act or omission related to a pregnant woman's fetus. While the law is gone, substance abuse during pregnancy is still considered child abuse under Tennessee law. So yeah, child abuse under Tennessee law. Oh man, Candace, you're so dumb. Tennessee no longer requires healthcare workers to report suspected drug use during pregnancy, though they are encouraged to connect patients with counseling and treatment. There is no mandatory drug testing for pregnant women, and healthcare providers cannot take a child away solely based on a drug test results without a court order. So they have to take her to court and get that in the order. Former fetal assault law deterred many pregnant women from seeking prenatal care and treatment, fearing legal consequences. After its repeal, Tennessee has seen more pregnant women access addiction treatment, including medication-assisted treatment with methadone or buprenorphine. I don't know if I'm saying it right, which is considered standard of care for opioid use disorder during pregnancy. If she's just out here abusing drugs, I mean, you have the child abuse law under Tennessee. Oh my God. So first she said she wants to get into physical fights. Now she's talking about using drugs again. And it's not like prenatals or anything like that. Oh my God. Yeah, they have to get her on child abuse. Substance abuse during pregnancy is considered child abuse in the state of Tennessee. So yeah. You know, the crazy thing is she makes too much money to be doing that. Girl, if you don't get you some dang on prenatal vitamins and go sit your dumb ass down somewhere. Is that why she mad? we getting the side of her that's not taking the Adderall. You can't make this stuff up. Oh my God. No one told her to have a fifth child. Stop getting pregnant, you dumbass girl. Go get your tubes tied. Tell George to get a vasectomy. Stop turkey basting. The IVFs are already out of control. You've got 4 kids. Can you not be happy? She's got nannies. Like it's all such a burden being a mom when you're married to a billionaire. Are you kidding? Oh my goodness. That kid, man, that's all I feel bad for, the kids. Candace is a demon. Candace, you gonna go to jail. I'm telling you, you're gonna get into a physical fight with the right person on the wrong day, and they're gonna have you locked up. And if you out here doing drugs and you still pregnant, and it's not prenatals or anything, prescribed to you, yeah, no. You walk around here mad and angry. You've already put in videos how you want to aggress and get into physical fights. Pregnancies don't make you do that. Candace, you full of shit. Why not just get a surrogate? She could just get a surrogate. Candace, if you don't want to be pregnant and carry no more babies, get a surrogate. You get your egg, George sperm, y'all put it together and put it in somebody else and let them carry the baby. Well, what is George doing? He's such a coward. Y'all, man, what real father and husband, even if he's a lavender husband, what real father? Let's just say he's gay, but he still loves the kids. You're going to sit back and let her take anything that is not prescribed or prenatal vitamins. You can imagine where he's probably like, what are you taking? Is that, what are you eating? What are you doing? Like, you can imagine this. He already called her crazy. Man, this is insane. This is insane. Candace, if you out here doing drugs, you going to jail. And that's it. And that's the end of that. You going to jail. You want to sit here and keep talking about you investigating. They ain't going to care about that. I told y'all she need to be 5150. She definitely needs to be 5150. She's doing this with all the crap that she's saying and doing, the obsession. Now she's having these, so-called anger spouts or whatever she's claiming it to be. Blaming it on the baby, talking about she wants to get into physical fights. She needs to be 5150. He needs to take her to a mental health treatment facility and say, you're going in here whether you like it or not, and you're pregnant. You're not going to do anything to harm this kid. You want to get into fights and do all this stuff, you need help. Now, at least keep her there until she give birth. And then you get the baby, and then she go out and do whatever she wants. Man, she does have a surrogate. She has a surrogate. She need to use a surrogate. Candace, stop getting pregnant. You're an idiot. I can't believe this. George, he looks like a dummy. What's George? What's George look like? Love a picture, George Farmer. George Farmer. Oh, he definitely looks like he does not give a damn. I can tell you that right now. He doesn't care what the hell's going on. It's George right here. And two of the kids. It's like, girl, take her to a facility, George, and stop playing around with it. If she's out here doing drugs, she shouldn't be doing. After saying she feels aggressive and wants to get in physical fights, drop her ass off at a mental hospital. Get out of the car. Come on, I'm not dealing with this. Pick her up and carry her in there. She is to be here for 4 months until she gives birth. Don't call me before then. And that's it. You didn't think these kids that he walking around with black eyes, she got broken foots? What are you doing, Candace? You already admitted to being physically violent. So obviously she gave him a black eye. Candace, I dare you to debunk me. I'll wait. These kids got to see all this. Probably confused as hell. Wait, what? Oh my God. Boy, you can't make this stuff up. Candace, if you out here doing drugs while you pregnant, you going to jail. You going to jail. Flat out. You're going to jail. You get out here, you start a fight, and you're the primary aggressor, you're going to jail. Whomever she walks up on, do not be afraid to call 911. It might be the best thing for her. That way, we all know she can't take shit in jail. Because this is crazy. Let her go to jail. He needs to have her committed. I'm telling y'all, this girl is crazy. He literally, this is what he married. Man, this is crazy. He got 4 kids with this heifer. This dumb demon seed gave him 4 babies. And pregnant with a 5th. While she walking around talking about I want to get in physical fights. The hell you say? Candace, you know that's not normal. That's not normal, Candace. It is not normal to say you pregnant and you want to get into physical fights. You need to be admitted. Can't make this up. Why are all these people that's kissing high ass all the time? So the candy asses don't see anything wrong with that? Y'all don't see anything wrong with your cult leader who is pregnant with a baby talking about wanting to get in physical fights? And she aggressive as hell, for real. That's not normal. Child, I will have a 5150. Now you going to this mental health hospital. Come on. They got some in Tennessee near the area. Real nice ones too. You know, it's just like being in a resort. Take her to a different state. Take her to California. The one we looked up. Everybody thought George was at. They had a whole pool. It's like a whole private resort there. Give him a fake name and everything. Child. Why she doing? Oh, Candace, you're an idiot. They will do all kinds of tests and blood work, and they'll know. Because I mean, it's not uncommon. You got women out here who do abuse drugs while they're pregnant. So there's a lot of tests that can be run. If he have her 5150 and make her go to rehab or something, even just anger management. Because she is off the chart violent right now. And I keep saying, I don't put it past Candace to go out and just launch and attack somebody. Especially when she's willing to say that she's going to do something like that. Or she feels like she is prone to do this because she's pregnant with a boy. Take that serious. Then you know how to, okay, we got to put you on the ground, girl. We're not going to like just all out fight you back, but we put you on the ground and you going to jail. They will do a mouth swab, draw blood. A court will order that. If they feel like you're under the influence and you act like you don't want to give up, DNA or anything, because they'll try to do the cheek swab. You don't want to do that. Then they'll get an order from the court and they'll draw some blood out your body. Candace, you don't care. when you're willing to get in physical fights and blame it on a pregnancy. And if you are doing drugs, you need to go to a hospital and be admitted. Period. Whether you like it or not. For the baby's sake. Good grief. Well, they need to stop these IVLs, man. It's not working. Wow, this is crazy. He's just as evil. I keep telling people that, actually. You're on point. I've been said that. George is just as evil. He doesn't even want to explain how he got a black eye. Now we know Candace gave it to him. She got heart of makings of a serial killer. And she's insane. She's obsessed. Goodness gracious. Oh my God, you can't make this up. Yeah, man. We'll be back at it tomorrow. I definitely want to see the bride of Candace. Because I didn't see the last one that Fax Me did. And then we got a couple other videos from Joshua Carr, Edie Marie that I want to check out. So we'll be back at it tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and schedule our live stream that we're going to have with Fax Me on Sunday, as well as our live stream for tomorrow. So you guys look out for that. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. This has been something else. I've had a very busy afternoon, and I want to thank all of you for supporting me here in the Lady Luck Club. Many of you all have been hanging out with me all evening, and it has been a ton of fun, as always. So make sure you all hit that like button. Hey, Dana, I see you up in there. Make sure you all hit that like button and hype the videos up. Candace, you're going to go to jail one way or the other. You keep on at this rate. Whether you get in a fight or keep doing drugs or whatever the hell you're doing, you're going to jail. You can't make this up. George, get off your ass and stop letting her do this. You're going to have to take some control. Grow a spine, George. Grow a spine. This is crazy. You really want your kids seeing all this? You can't make this up. Imagine these children watching that video of her saying, I want to get in more physical fights because I'm pregnant with a boy. And you're going to be like, Mom, what do you mean? Jesus. Candace, you're the worst. All right, y'all. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Thank y'all so much. Y'all hit that like button. Bless y'all. Love y'all. And until the next one. Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.